ONI, your onboard navigational intelligence. Your consciousness and my neural programming are inexorably interlinked. Think of me as a friend, one you don't yet remember. You may still be experiencing some memory degradation from the damage to... Per our arrangement, you've come to Tau Ceti to scavenge the ruins of a long-lost human colony. Now that we've successfully calibrated you to new Cascadia systems, the Unified Earth Space Council is equipped with advanced, faster-than... Commandeer it, and I should be able to reverse engineer direct contact with faction representatives.
watch this video. In this video, I'm going to be going through absolutely everything from sensitivity to aim response curve to your mappings, and not only that, the best controller you can use to play Marathon, and even more, one massive secret in this video that I have discovered that will absolutely change the game for you if you play Marathon with a controller. So let's get right into it. So the first thing we're going to get into is look sensitivity. Now, I personally prefer 15 and a 0.5 ADS sensitivity modifier. Sensitivity is always a personal choice. It depends maybe on how you play. If you play much slower and more methodical, you might want to lower this down, focus purely on landing your shots. However, if you want to play more aggressively, a higher sensitivity is going to help you to reposition, to look around faster, and to catch those rats hiding in the corners. So for me, I like 15.5. This is basically what I played in Destiny, and I kind of just kept it the same and transferred it over. Same thing goes for the aim response curve, guys. There are a lot of options here. You've got classic, relax, linear, aggressive, and adaptive. However, guys, this is a Bungie game. Bungie are the best in the game when it comes to aim assist, hit registration, and all of the rest of it. So classic is basically classic Bungie. And if you've played Destiny and you know how insanely strong controller is in Destiny, you'll know that classic feels exactly like Destiny. So I strongly recommend keeping classic. Obviously, vertical and horizontal inversion is not inverted because, you know, I'm not a monster. Next up, you've got the axial dead zone and the radial dead zone. These are very important settings, guys, so you really want to make sure you get them right. In as simple terms as possible, axial dead zone settings are related to your straight line movements of your analog stick, and the radial settings are more based on circular movements. In my opinion, keep it very simple. You just want to get these two settings as low as you can get them without causing your controller to have stick drift. Now, I'm pretty sure with my controller I could go all the way down to 0.0, but before I got this controller, I had up 0.04 for both. So in my opinion, just lower it as much as you can, and that will be the best way to set it up. But you can mess around with this, find what works for you best. In the day, all of these things are preference, although I would strongly recommend aim response curve gets kept at classic. But for everything else, you can try out what you want. You want auto look centering to be off. You want controller vibration to be off. Absolutely. Double press delay I have got set at 233 milliseconds. So the controller mappings are where I change things up quite a lot from the default settings. Now, in my opinion, the first thing you're going to want to change in the controller mapping section is toggle crouch to R3. This is going to allow you to crouch by clicking in the R3 button, but also if you're sprinting and clicking the R3, you will slide, allowing you to never remove your thumb from the right stick, so you can slide and crouch, and it's much more fluid, and most crucially of all, it frees up space for your other buttons. And with this being an extraction shooter, there is really not as much space on a controller as there is on mouse and keyboard, so that real estate is important how you spread it out. So the first thing I would change is I would switch your quick melee off R3 and change your crouch to be on R3. The next thing that I changed significantly from the default settings is your usage of tactical and trait ability mapping. Typically it would be on L1. Now I prefer to have tactical and trait ability both on circle. This of course is a back button for me because my controller has paddles, 4 of them in fact. And what I have done here is I have set your tactical ability to be on tap and your trait ability to be on hold. So say for example, if you're playing Thief, you would just have to tap it to get your grapple going, and if you want to activate your visor, you would have to hold it. This is a really cool thing that Bungie have added, allowing you to make multiple uses out of one button press. A tap is literally what it says on the tin. You just tap it and you will get your first ability. If you hold it, you will then use your trait ability, like bringing down your visor. And in my opinion, it's important that you do this because, like I said, real estate is important here when it comes to an extraction shooter, with there being so many more things to worry about than just aiming and shooting. Now, I have assigned the quick melee to R1, and believe it or not, this is the single most important thing you want to do, is set your quick melee to R1. It is the big secret. It is something that a lot of you probably have no idea about, and I will reveal more about this at the end of the video. But really, trust me when I say this, set your quick melee to R1, even though no one's even quick meleeing, everyone's just stabbing everyone with a knife like it's a London Underground. The next thing I have changed is use equipment, L1. So you can throw your grenade, set your claymore, and drop your ammo crate, whatever it might be, with L1. In my opinion, this is far more intuitive. I do come from Destiny, so in Destiny you throw your grenade with L1, so I wanted to feel very similar to that, and in my opinion it is the best place to map your equipment button, simply by pressing L1. Everything else down from here is basically default. These things here down below are pretty bad as well. Unfortunately, Bungie have not added a toggle for prox chat on controller. So if you want a prox chat, you're gonna have to hold right on your D-pad whilst, you know, trying to talk to your enemies or whoever it might be. It's not very intuitive, but this could be easily solved by Bungie simply adding a toggle option right here, and then this would be fine. So Bungie, if you can get a move on with that, I would appreciate it. But there's something more important than all of your controller settings, your mappings, your sensitivities, and what would that be? It would be the controller itself. And that's why here today, my friends, I'm about to show you the Hex Gaming Phantom Controller, my new partners when it comes to all things controller related. The Phantom Controller, in my opinion, is the best controller I have ever used. It is the ultimate gaming experience. It's what we're all chasing. This controller has absolutely every single feature possible, from Hall effect joysticks giving you the ultimate level of control to 4 back buttons. We talked about it earlier. Real estate is absolutely crucial. These back buttons are perfectly placed, allowing you to just intuitively hit whichever button and action you need to activate. It also comes with the ability to calibrate your joysticks, and these controllers are basically immune to stick drift because of the Hall effect technology. They're absolutely phenomenal. They also allow you to toggle between your triggers being mouse clicks or normal trigger pulls. So depending on what game you want to play, if you want that instant response, you can flick the switch on the back and hey presto, they're now clicking like mouse buttons. It's absolutely sensational. Remapping the controller is absolutely seamless, allowing you to have 6 different profiles, 4 different games, several different thumbstick options, whatever suits you best, and it also has an absolutely sensational non-slip grip design. Guys, I am not just saying this. This is the best controller I have ever used, period. And those who know me and those who watch my streams will know I'm very, very finicky and very, very used to certain controllers. It takes me a long time to get used to a different one. But with this thing, I picked it up and it felt like I had been using it forever, which speaks to the perfect design on the controller. Now, I'm super happy to announce I now have a partnership with Hex Gaming. So if you use my code DFP, you can secure yourself 5% off your Phantom controller. Do keep in mind, they don't just have the Phantom controller, they have a complete suite of different controllers for PS5 and Xbox. You have the Phantom, the Ultimate Pro, the Ultimate, the Rival Pro, and the Rival. So there are different options depending on how stacked you want to go. If you want the best of the best, the Phantom controller is the best controller in the world, and that is no exaggeration. So now for that big secret, or maybe it's not a secret, maybe I'm just stupid. Maybe you're stupid as well. We'll find out right now. If you guys didn't know this, the quick melee ability in Marathon also serves as a ping button only when you are aiming down sights. It doesn't say it anywhere in the controller mapping section. It doesn't list it anywhere. There is no suggestion of it, but maybe it's just really obvious and that's why they haven't listed it. But maybe you didn't know, and like me, when you started playing this game, you were taking your thumb off the left stick to hit up on your D-pad to ping people, which is just really bad and really clunky, right? But when you're aiming down sights, whatever your quick melee is mapped to will ping people. So I suppose the default settings are super intuitive because quick melee is set to R3, and by just pressing R3 when aiming down sights, you can ping people. For me, I don't really like that. I don't like that because I don't want to click in my stick whilst I'm aiming at people. That doesn't feel great to me. But simply hitting R1, which is just above your trigger for firing, is much more intuitive. So not only are you freeing up a lot of space on your controller by mapping your melee to R1, it also now serves as your primary ping option when you're aiming down sights. So once again, if you guys didn't know this, whilst aiming down sights, your quick melee ability will ping people. Now, maybe it's super obvious, or maybe it isn't, but that is the big secret, if you will. And if you appreciate this information, don't forget to leave a like to show me. Guys, that is the end of this video. We've gone through my sensitivity settings, we've gone through the mappings, and we've gone through the actual controller that I use, which is probably the most important thing itself. Once again, code DFP for 5% off your Hex Gaming controller. The Hex Gaming Phantom controller might well be the best controller I have ever used. So big shout out to Hex Gaming. And like I said, if you enjoyed the video, you found it helpful, don't forget to leave a like, subscribe for more marathon content, and drop me a follow on Twitch, guys. The link is down below in the description. Twitch.tv/shake. Much love, and I'll see you guys in the next one.
As a tech founder, you start scrappy. You have to, and I live that. Pulled 2 on-editors in a weekend to launch Codedex and made sure it was live. I thought of Azure as what only the huge enterprises use, but I learned that its power and resources were amazing for a startup like ours. Teaching the next generation of technologists is why I started Codedex. There are lots of videos on the platform featuring our team, but they take forever to make, and it's impossible to keep them up to date with curriculum changes. Now, in less than 24 hours, I can build an AI avatar in our courses for the visual learners and update them dynamically as needed. Because Azure gives my team all the tools they need in one place, tools like Azure AI, compute, storage, we save time on building, which means we get an extra week to gather user feedback and refine from there.
And that's just a fraction of what we do with Azure. We can do a lot for tech startups like yours too.
Sign up for a 30-day free trial today and let me know what you're building in the comments.
Sometimes life can be a little messy, but with next-gen Nubella Performance Fabric at Ashley, we've got your whole home covered, so you can get back to what you love, messes and all.